Most governments had come to an understanding, long before they even left their planets, before the most advanced technology was a steam engine. Heck, most places knew this at the time of castles and pike. Militaries aren't worth it. It might feel worth it to an up-and-coming government, but as soon as they would start to militarize, one of two things would happen. They either get taken over by the surrounding nations, getting scared of an attack, or they are able to take over their neighbors, and then all their military is doing is creating a way for someone to overthrow their government, so they will start demobilizing. There were outliers, yes, but the most extreme out of the 11 so far in the Orion Arm have all shared a similar government, military, and economic structure, so we assumed that it was the same way that all governments would function. But the Americans came to overthrow our ideas that had been quite stable for a long while. A probe found Earth, a small blue marble holding a monster on its surface. A ship was sent for more information, and what was found was... It sent the entire way of life that was known up to that point into a spiral of confusion and doubt. For on that world we found one nation that managed to not only outclass ours, but half the known race's militaries combined. Luckily, it was an outlier, even in their homeworld. Yet they still only accounted for around half of their world army. The United States of America single-handedly had the largest blue water navy, white water navy, Air Force, naval, Air Force, ground support, army, armored corps, and so on. They were spending 25% of their entire budget on their army, and yet they had one of the highest standards of living in the known universe at that time, only behind their allies, that if their militaries worked together could manage to stand toe-to-toe with the rest of the known universe's armies at the time. Containment procedures were put into place. No one was allowed to sell FTL technology to the humans, and everyone agreed to only buy what they needed. However, I somehow doubt that the 15 ships filled with home furniture, computers, and most infuriatingly military equipment that had been screened by the occasional patrol vessel were needed. I finally turn up for my speech, and give a glance to the room of kings and queens, who have all conveniently found a new fondness for the picture of the founders in the center of the room. However, that is not the main point I wish to talk about. Instead, it is the fact that after the general population heard rumors of a place where their work hours were limited, slavery was banned, and the government was accountable to their people, 172 ships that were crewed with only a few guards, and then the large amount of commoners and even slaves have stopped communicating with us, and managed their way to Earth, all of them with some form of FTL. If the humans stand up to their morals, and are as fast at constructing as we have seen before, we only have these few weeks to prepare our forces to wipe out the humans' dreams of spacefaring. Yet before I was able to finish my speech to form an attack team on the humans, an assistant suddenly brought in a slip of paper and handed it to me. I pick it up and skim over the report, a fear slowly rising in my chest. On it was a picture of a standard trading ship. A standard trading ship with a line of huge letters in the human language, the usual insignia that showed the house or clan it belonged to, having instead been replaced with 50 stars and 13 stripes. A standard trade ship that has been outfitted with pieces of military equipment that, if not on par with our own, is only a step behind it. The room goes quiet, as the projector shows the image to the rest of the room, the cars falling down around us.